Hello, everybody. Welcome back. PieCover here. Yes, thank you, everybody, for sticking around. I wasn't able to make any podcasts last week. I think I made one or two. I'm not sure, but I couldn't because I had a tooth extraction to do. So I removed that, and that was one of the problems that I couldn't make a podcast, right? So I couldn't speak properly, so I'd only be like wow, wow, wow. So yeah, and I want to talk about what I want to talk about today is the sovereign individual and the power shift dynamic that's happening because right now most countries that you used to think if you live in those countries you used to think like if you live in US, Canada and all those European countries, you used to think, okay, well, I'm in a big country, in a developed country, and you have a hope you can advance in yourself and your family, and then you have like at least you think you may succeed, right? You have a fighting chance to succeed in your family. But right now, the power shift dynamic is the power is shifting to a different ways now because right now being a Canadian or American or European is a big liability on yourself and your family. It's a big liability on your family's balance sheet. So it's no longer an advantage to be a member of those countries. It's no longer a good opportunity anymore. It's a deficit. It's a loss because think about how much debt the U.S. government owes right now. Like most of those countries, think about how much debt they owe. Right, the G7 countries, they owe so much debt. Right, they can no longer. It doesn't matter how much they try, they will no longer be able to pay those debt ever. Right, because their debt to GDP is huge. Right, even if like they wouldn't be able to take the whole amount of their income, right, to pay for those debt, right. So they need to pay for social securities or pension scam. They need to pay for so many things. They need to pay for to keep society in order and all those things, right? Pay those big governments and all those bureaucracy and all those things, so they won't have enough money to pay for interest and their debt anyway. So they will have to printing more money, create more inflation, and more inflation cause more interest rate to rise. The interest rate rising doesn't have any relationship to government or central banks, right? That's the other thing I realized, because even though they're trying to pretend that they control the interest rate, but they don't. Yeah, they're just reacting to market signals, right? They're just doing what the market wants them to do, just to keep their credibility for now. But I think it's gonna fail. And so the power dynamic is shifting very quick and rapidly, and so only the countries that will prevail are going to be the countries that submit to their population, right? If you want people who have money, who have capital to come to you, live in your country, then you have to treat them well, right? Because the power dynamic is in a way that the government won't have money anymore. Like in the past few decades, it was all about government having money, spending on whatever they want, and then just picking winners and losers, and check who they want to accept in our country and who they don't want to. In the future, it's going to be about, okay, if you want somebody to come live in your country, then you have to treat them well, right? You have to treat them very well. First of all, you have nations like even like population is decreasing all over the world, all around the world, in every country. You have population now decreasing, maybe in exception of a few, right? So you just may have an exception of a few countries that don't have population decline, but it is the case for most countries right now. So if your population is declining, then you need people to keep producing value to keep your economy alive and keep the country alive. Then what you're gonna do? Well, you have to attract more capital. The capital is coming from people with a brain who can invest, who can build good businesses, solid business, who can survive and thrive. Right. So uh, I just wanted to throw this out there and how important that is for even all those people trying talking about UBI and socialism and all those things. So, well, if you wanted to try all those things, yeah, good, go ahead, try those experiment, right? See how those how they works for you, right? But why do you have to force it on everybody? I used to be a full blown UBI people too. I used to believe those things, we need UBI and stuff like that. But when I realized, well, who's going to print the money? Right? That's the question. And where the money is coming from? Well, the money is going to come from it's a theft. It's a hidden theft because where you have a central party, right? It's a group of very small individuals, you know, pulling the strings and selecting who they can give more, and you're gonna have so much coercions because like, who's going to distribute those money. And then you have, like, think about, like, in 2020 when they had to give stimulus checks, right, so those money, right, so when they print all this money, what is the percentage went to the people and what is the percentage went to Wall Street, right? Wall Street and the real economy, right? It's a K shape. It was like a K shape, right? You remember when they were saying, "Oh, K shape recovery, K shape." They were saying V shape, but everybody saw K shape. So you see the massive gap, and this is what creates so much inequality in society. So when I realized that, I said, "Okay, no, UBI can't work. So what we need to do is to have a money that's so difficult to produce, and we introduce more discipline in society. With that, we can have prices go down, even if they go close to zero. That's good. We have price going close to zero, and that way more people can afford to live, right? We don't need more money. We just need the money to worth more. My battery is about to be dead very soon, and I just wanted to make sure, guys, just give you a toxic talk for this week at least. And yeah, so this is what I really that really wakes me up when I realize, okay, when I I'm listening to Jeff Booth and people with the brain, like so many of those Bitcoiners. I realize, hey, this is necessary for our survival as a species, because when you have AI, where are you gonna have to come out over and take most people's job basically, and it's a good thing because, well, if you cannot compete with AI with better technology, they should take your job. They should do the job better. Then that's good. That's free market. But with that situation, right? When AI take my job, for example, that's good, but that means that the job the AI is doing it more efficiently. So it's cheaper, right, for the AI to do the job. Then the price should be lower for me, right? Exponentially get lower, right? So then I can afford that, right? If I saved like a few satoshis, right? So I can use those satoshis to buy those products or the services, or even other services, because there's a machine right now that's putting more efficiency in the system. So when you have steam engine, cars, you have electricity, all those inventions, right? That those brings more efficiency in the system. Then our life should be cheaper, right? So when you have smaller nuclear reactors come, more and more of those technologies come to market, then you have electricity bills and energy should get lower in prices, right? So those are the things we need. Those are, yes, we need all this advance in technology, but we don't need like uh law governments putting laws into place to say, oh, they're choosing winners and losers, right? Because you can never have a free market in that situation, and prices will always stay high, right? So only places that open for business that don't involve into the economy, right? The less you do as a politician, the better it is for the economy to grow, and more people you're gonna have come to your country. And the more you do the opposite, the less people you're gonna have, the more miserable your country gonna be, and the poorer your country gonna be. So, anyways, this is the power dynamic I was wanted to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoyed this talk. This was PieCover. I will see you again in the next Toxic Talk. If you like, share, subscribe, show some value back, and lightning address below, and I'll see you guys again in the next Toxic Talk. Thank you.